Back in the day, there was a go-to combo for your CPU and GPU, Intel and Nvidia, but nowadays, AMD and AMD are looking pretty good. So today, we're gonna be spinning a wheel.
Welcome to a budget build challenge, where today we're going to be taking an all AMD system versus an Nvidia and Intel system to see in 2025 which one's the best bang for buck in an $800 gaming PC build challenge. But to make this challenge even more interesting, our friends at ASUS are sponsoring this video to showcase their ASUS TUF VG27AQ M5A 1440p 300Hz gaming monitor that comes in at a very competitive price tag of $299. And to test this monitor, we'll be tasked to build two $800 PCs. We can use used or new parts, no limitations on the retailers, but one of the build has to be all AMD and the other has to be Nvidia plus Intel, with the hope that both of these PCs will be able to play at 1440p on this beautiful display from ASUS. Thanks again to ASUS for sponsoring this video. Later in the video, we'll be unboxing this monitor for the first time and setting it up to push our budget builds to the limit and show you all how good of a value this monitor is. Now let's not waste any more time, let's spin the wheel and decide our fate. Okay, so for this challenge, we need to figure out who's going to be all AMD and who's going to be Nvidia and Intel. So, Jackson, do you want to do the honors?
Yeah,
figure out which one you're going to get.
I mean, because whatever I get, you get the other. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. And Jackson has Nvidia plus Intel, which, you know, and now I'm thinking about it, just videos we've done on the channel recently is not a combo that I normally, use.
We don't do it very often.
No, but it was the go-to meta back in the day when AMD wasn't what AMD is nowadays. So Nvidia plus Intel, I got all AMD. We got $800 to spend, by the way, for these builds, and the goal now is to figure out what 3 games we're going to play. At the end, we'll also have a 3D mark score for the sim per point average, but we're going to focus on 3 games here from this list that we will have to try to play and see if we can run at various settings. The settings will be determined based on what kind of build we end up with. So first game is going to be, we got a wide range on the list here, so let's see. Some demanding ones. Marvel Rivals. Okay. That's doable. So we got first Marvel Rivals.
All right.
Next up, we have...
I can do that.
Hoping to get a variety here.
We just get CS Marvel Rivals.
Oh no. Oh no. Gosh. It's going to pass. It's going to pass it. Oh. Fortnite. Oh,
that's the one game I don't own, too.
We almost had Indy Jones, baby. So we're on all esports right now. Let's see if we get a high-end one in here if we're going to go all esports.
It'd be funny if we get another esports. Ooh, I think we're going to get Call of Duty Warzone.
so we're getting all first-person shooters, baby. Well, actually, no, Marvel Rivals is a third-person top-down game. Not really that close. So Marvel Rivals, we have Fortnite, and we also have Warzone. So we have some.
That's a good spread.
Good spread. Warzone is definitely the more demanding of all the games. Marvel Rivals is pretty demanding as well, the force ray tracing. So that'd be interesting to see. But hey, it's pretty simple now, guys. We're gonna get to shopping. We're gonna see what we can build for $800. Jackson's got to do Nvidia plus Intel. I got to do AMD all the way around, and hopefully we can beat these games and see which one will be the best at an $800 price point. And then I'm excited to test them with this ASUS monitor.
So $800, I gotta do Intel and Nvidia, and obviously, I could do like an Intel GPU, but then I wouldn't have an Nvidia item. So I basically just have to go Intel for CPU and Nvidia for GPU. So I'm gonna go home and grab my 5080, which is free. No, I'm just kidding. I really want like 11th gen or newer, but it would be funny if I could get a 5070. Yeah, I don't think this was meant to be sold to the public. So this is the B760M PG Wi-Fi. Okay, we'll go with this kit. 650 watt power supply. I'll go with this one because it has the ATX 3.0 connector. Let's go ID cooling 214. $516. So that leaves me with about $284 for a GPU. Oh my god, it's crusty up close. Wow. We're going back to the drawing board. McAllister, I'm so sorry. I just gave you 14 minutes of footage. We're gonna slightly go back to the drawing board here. Rewind. All right, I'm adding this to the cart. I really hope no one takes this. Add to cart. That's $731. It's so close. I want to make it happen. These prices are horrible. I mean, literally, I'm about to get like a 4070 for like almost that price. The lower end stuff for the price just isn't the best compared to AMD right now. See, now I'm starting to regret. I feel like the first build I had was like, luckily I still have my Amazon cart. All right, let's just do this. So we're back to where we were, McAllister. I'm sorry. I tried doing something different. I shouldn't have tried. I just don't get why people think, like, I just had a 5070 in my cart. Why do people think their 4070s are worth this, dude? Why are people even willing to pay it? Oh man, it makes me angry. So, I mean, if I could get a 4060 Ti, I'd be pretty happy with that. That puts us at 805. Okay, we're gonna make a tweak on Amazon to make this work. So let's go ahead and check out. I'm gonna have to log into Amazon to figure that out. And yeah, we'll get the parts when they get here and we'll check everything out.
Okay guys, it is now time for me to shop for my $800 all AMD gaming PC. Now, the one thing I'm definitely gonna go for is used on the GPU, because that's where we're gonna get the best price performance. If not, we definitely be sacrificing a little bit in the GPU department, but I wanna go ahead and figure out what I'm gonna do for everything else. So we're gonna look on Amazon and Newegg. So I'm really debating between 7600 and 9600X depending on the price. And right now, so 7600X, B650 Pro RS. Ooh, wait, this might be the vibe. The crucial stuff is always really good for the money. We're just flying. We're flying, guys. I could get away with the 512, but I'll play it safe. We're not really saving that much money. Buy it again. You see how much we buy these things? Buy it again. The C910. The big thing is, and they're sponsored, but not this video, it's really hard not to go Okinos when it comes to a budget build like this. So Okinos is always an option for sure. Yeah, let's just go with the black version. We'll go non-RGB for this build. Just keep it subtle. I've been really liking these Rosewill units. The VSB 650, $49. We may just end up taking an L on Marvel Rivals and hope that we just run away with Warzone and the other games, but we'll have to see. AMD GPUs are good, but they're kind of overpriced for what they are right now. Gimme this cheapo Cooler Master case. And this is secretly, I feel like I deserve some, I mean, I know the SSD personally, I would spend a little more money, get a 1 terabyte, but the price to performance of this is gonna be sneaky good. All right, final total. $795.20. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and order everything, and I'm interested to see what Jackson went. Did he go used? If he did, what is my new option going to pair like, and do I have the big RT advantage in Marvel Rivals? We'll see. But before we get into building, let's go ahead and unbox this new ASUS TUF Series 5 monitor that we'll be using to benchmark our builds.
All right, so we got the VG5A here, which is a 300 hertz 1440p 27-inch fast IPS 0.3 millisecond response time gaming monitor.
Crazy monitor coming in at $299 from ASUS. Again, they're sponsoring this video. We're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna unbox this thing, get it set up to test our PCs. Now, obviously the elephant in the room, and I mentioned it a couple times, we got $800 builds, which I will mention with some of the games we're playing. We're playing Fortnite and we're playing Warzone. Warzone might be a bit harder, but Fortnite in particular, especially being an esports title, lower details, maybe a little upscaling action. You can get close to that with the PCs we have built in this video, but we'll see later on. We're gonna focus on 1080p benchmarks, but we will show you guys what this 1440p display looks like, because there's a lot of cool features under the hood. Again, Jackson mentioned fast IPS, 0.3 milliseconds response time. We also have VRR support to help reduce some ghosting, and overall, this is just a high quality display. ASUS reached out and basically said, hey, we've seen you've been taking a look at a lot of monitors here on the channel, and we want to show you guys what a high quality budget display from ASUS can do, and at $299, considering all the features you're getting, it's looking pretty cool so far.
And you guys know we do like the TUF lineup when it comes to the graphics cards, the motherboards. It's a good bang for buck.
And with the new TUF Series 5 monitors, they made 5 major upgrades that you guys will notice at home. First, speed, with a refresh rate of 300 Hz and a 0.3 millisecond response time. Next is fluidity with Nvidia G-Sync and AMD FreeSync support. They also improved colors with support for 95% of the DCI P3 color gamut. They added more gaming features like shadow boost to improve visibility in dark spaces and competitive shooters. And they improved the ability to control the monitor with one of my favorite features, the Display Widget Center, which is a software you can download on your PC directly without the need to use the physical buttons on the monitor, allowing you to quickly change on the fly the settings you want for your display. All right guys, super easy to set up this monitor. We just put the stand on, put in some screws, and we're good to go. Looking at some of the ports we have here, we have a wide range of ports to choose from. So we have a headphone jack in, we have 2 HDMIs and a display port, and I always like seeing an internal power supply, just that single PC power plug. You don't have some weird brick out there that will take up space on your desk.
That's pretty cool.
But hey, really nice display. We gotta get to some benchmarking though on this monitor. Shout out again to ASUS for sponsoring this video. You guys will see us gaming on this display, and yeah, let's just see if we can meet the challenge and who has the best system for the price.
All right guys, it has been a while. I think it's been a couple weeks, and all my parts are finally in because I did get some used parts. So Jonah's gonna like this and Matt's gonna like this because I've never heard of this. So I bought an Intel i7-12700. What's weird about that, Jonah? Nothing, right? This one, there was an Intel sample. This was basically close to like 12400 pricing. These were the previous launch, right before the mainstream 12th gen i7s came out. These were sent to companies to test, basically. And the branding's really funny on it, but apparently in the BIOS and everything, it should just show up as a 12700. Intel Confidential. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I needed to penny pinch. I needed to save every little bit I could. So 132 bucks for this 12 core 20 thread. I did need to buy a cooler for it. So I ended up going with the classic ID cooling SC214 XT in black. I think it's an awesome tower cooler. I paid $18 for it. They've gone up slightly, but yeah, this is a great cooler to cool pretty much anything. Now, this is the other thing I got used, and then I think other than that, we're pretty much new. So I'm gonna skip around a little bit, but I'm gonna show you guys my graphics card. I got a 4060 Ti. I wanted to try to save any money I could. I felt like, you know, I paid 281 bucks for this. So I saved like $20 over a new 5060. It's the same amount of VRAM and everything, so I hope I made the right decision here. It's an MSI Ventus. It's the 2X, so 2-fan. Should be pretty decent, you know, on power. It only needs an 8-pin, 8 gigs of VRAM. I'm assuming Matt probably could have only gotten 8 as well with his budget. Yeah, hopefully I did go with that. So now for the motherboard, we had to get something that could support 12th or 14th gen, so we ended up getting this ASRock B760M Phantom Gaming. It's a Riptide Wi-Fi board. I really like the look of these boards. They look slick. They have like a little blue bar there. And interestingly enough, in the B760s, it's hard to really even get them in DDR4. So we had to go DDR5, which it would have saved me some money if maybe I had gotten a used board and gone DDR4, but I don't know. I didn't want to make this build like horrible. So I even got 32 gigs. I could have gotten 16 to have like a little more money to spend on like a GPU, but I don't know. I just felt like the build was getting too unbalanced. I was trying to go for a 5070, which that would have been insane if I could have made that work. Now maybe I could. They're what, 530?
528 or something like that on Amazon.
Wild for the 5070, but $81.99 for this RAM. It's some cheap RAM. If you spend a little more, you can get better cache latency, you can get better speed, but I don't think we're gonna notice any difference if we did do that. I don't even know if I'll turn on XMP in all honesty. I paid $46 for this drive. In all honesty, just get a 1 terabyte. I remember I got into my cart and I was a few dollars over. I had spent like 30 minutes planning this, so I should have just gone back and found a cheaper 1 terabyte, but instead I just dropped down to a 500 gig, but it's a really fast 500 gig. This thing is 6,600 megabytes per second. So nearing like Gen 5 speeds, top of Gen 4 speeds. I was fine with spending, I spent, what is it, $46 for it. You can get a Gen 4 1 terabyte for like $56. So don't do what I did. I'm only doing this for a challenge. I'm only doing this because I'm challenged. Now we got a Rosewill power supply. So this is the VSB 650. This is one that we've been using a little bit lately because, for one, it looks cool. I like the look of this power supply. It has like the wraparound grates for the cooling. It's also semi-modular, which is really cool for a cheaper unit. I mean, this thing is what is it, $50. So it's pretty cheap. It's 80 plus bronze. I had to get some type of decent power supply. I don't really know where these rate in all honesty, but we've used them multiple times with no issues so far. All right, you guys know this is a go-to case for me. This is the Okinos Cypress 3. So this is the Okinos like all black tower with 4 black fans that has like the wooden front, the wooden oak tone to it. $60 after like tax shipping and everything. And it's a micro ATX case that has a full power supply basement, so it hides everything well. It looks great. We got like no RGB in this build, so this is gonna be a really clean and aesthetic build in my mind. I'm curious to see what Matt ends up whipping out, but let's go ahead and put this thing together for 800 bucks.
All right, so he wants me to guess what his build is. Well, I know he had to go Nvidia and Intel, so spoiler, it has to be Nvidia and Intel. $800. I think we're probably looking at like some i5 with like a 60 level GPU, like a 40, 60, something like that, maybe. I don't know what he did for the rest of the parts, so I have no idea.
All right, so feast your eyes, not feature, feast your eyes in my build.
I've never seen that case before. Never.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's like I told Jonah in the viewers, it's like my favorite case for the price. I like the all black with the wood.
I know you guys complain about us using the same stuff sometimes. Actually, no, you don't complain. You complain about us using new stuff. This case, I mean, anything from Okinos, it's really awesome. Okay, I can't tell what the CPU is, but I can see B760. What we got?
We have a 12700.
Okay.
But what's cool about this CPU, and I think I mentioned this CPU, you've probably never seen it, says Intel Confidential on it, and nothing else. It's a sample that was sent to OEM companies before 12th gen release.
So it was an engineering sample?
Engineering sample,
yeah. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. That's how, the Xeon I had on my old workstation was an engineering sample. I used to get those like really cheap on eBay.
Yeah, so I paid like 134, I think, for it.
Nice.
So, you know, it's decently cheap. And then I got 32 gigs of DDR5. I got a 500 gig Gen 4. It's a really fast, crucial Gen 4.
Nice.
That is a used RTX 4060 Ti. You know, only 8 gigs of VRAM, but
TI?
I was trying to make a 5070 work, but I just could not.
5070 for $800 budget would be insane.
It was difficult. I got close, surprisingly. The Rosewill 650 watt power supply that we like. What else is there? You got ID cooling, tower cooler. I mean, it's a pretty basic, like, it's clean.
I really like the use of the engineering sample because that makes the price performance go even further. You'll see with my build, I had to go a different direction because I kind of had a weird issue where used wasn't really the better option, which we'll talk about when we get to my build in a minute. But Intel and Nvidia, this is a good pairing. I'd be curious to see what the 4060 Ti performs like nowadays, especially in the games that we have. But we have a lot of esports titles, so I'd be curious.
And it's like I was telling them too, I'm like, the used market is so bad. Like,
it's rough.
The 4060 Ti I paid like $282 for. Yeah. Which like, it's like, but I'm like, I feel like the 5060 is probably better.
It's probably faster by a little bit. So spinning, there's a little more out of 5060 with better ray tracing performance and things like that. So the used GPUs need a price slash, and y'all can let us know down below about that. But it's looking like a nice build. I gotta put mine together. I gotta see what mine's gonna be like. All right, guys, so as you guys can see, I have all the parts here for my build. Now, as you guys saw during the shopping section, I had to go all new because the weird thing is, the used market for AMD GPUs, and Jackson might have mentioned it for Nvidia stuff, the price performance just really isn't there right now. Like, you can deal hunt and maybe save a couple bucks, but compared to what I ended up getting, which we'll talk about here in a second, I felt like I got a okay, better deal new, which again, I could have penny pinched or went AM4 or whatever, but let's just go over all the parts and then I'll justify as I go along. First up, CPU. This is a weird one, 7500F. I really wanted to get AM5. I did not want to go AM4. I wanted to have a modern CPU that's fast, DDR5, all that sort of stuff. So 7500F I picked up on Newegg for $140, which saves me, compared to the next cheapest option, about 60 bucks. But for this price and this build, it made sense. The cooler is the ID Cooling SE214 XT in black. Basic tower cooler, which we paid a grand total of, I can't see it because I have two prices together. I think it's probably like
$18.
$18 is what we paid for it. For the motherboard, we have the ASRock B650M Pro RS Wi-Fi. We went with the Wi-Fi board because it was the one that was readily available. I will say, I kind of just didn't look super hard. There are some B850s that you can get for around the same price if you want to now, because these are getting phased out. So this board will do the job because I paid a grand total of $139 for it. Kind of what you expect for AM5, and especially for this quality of board. For the RAM, we went with this Crucial Pro Series 32 gigs at 6,000 megahertz, CL36, I believe. Yeah, CL36. I really like this stuff because it comes in at $84.99 is what I paid. I mean, you can get some RGB if you want to, but we're all about price performance with this PC build here, so we didn't sacrifice anything there. Now I made an absolute oopsie, I'll be honest with you, with my SSD. Well, how much did I pay for this? Let me make sure. My SSD is a Gen 3 drive, which I don't know why I did that, I'll be honest with you. I think on the build sheet at one point I put Gen 4. I don't know what that Matt was doing that day. I don't know. But it was the MP33, which is sitting right here. I paid $34 for it, though. So it's a 512 gig for 34 bucks. Get a Gen 4 if you want to. I had to sacrifice on storage to make this budget work, but you at home, if you can spend a little more money, get a 1 terabyte Gen 4. You'll thank yourself later. For the graphics card, the 9060 XT 8 gig. Now, the reason I went with this card is because on the used market, I was looking at all the options like the 7700 XT, the 7600. The cards that would be better performance from a previous gen were way more expensive than this GPU at $269. So I really couldn't justify buying used, at least at the time of recording this video. Everything AMD is just really overpriced right now in terms of the graphics cards, especially with what you can get with the new ray tracing performance, which in Marvel Rivals will help me out a lot. And it's $269 for a new gen card. So maybe I could have gone AM4 and then spent a little more money on a previous gen higher end card, but I think all new is an interesting approach for this challenge, and we're gonna see what it's all about with this graphics card. So you guys already saw Jackson use the same power supply as me. VSB 650, this kind of replaced the Seagotep temporarily as a power supply we use a lot for PC builds here on the YouTube channel because it's a cool power supply that comes with ATX 3.1 out of the box, and the price of this power supply is $49. So it's a good alternative compared to the Seagotep if you wanna try something a little bit different. Now, Jonah's favorite case on the market.
This is my worst. This is my least favorite case.
This is his least. What about the TGD Gamer?
at that point, that's more of a meme. This is just a bad case.
All right, so here we go. Cooler Master Q300L V2. We paid $38.99 for it, and the reason I went with this case is, again, we're penny pinching. TGD Gamer is even worse, and my graphics card probably wouldn't fit in it, so I had to go with this case. I looked for something as cheap as possible. I did end up getting these fans for $8, so if you do the math on it, we're at, what, $46, $47 for the case, so we're really, really close to getting something for $50. I just didn't go that route. We were really, really close, but I did get this 3-pack of fan for $8, which they're just black Darkrock fans, so I'll be able to put 2 up front, I think, 2 up front and 1 up top and 1 in the back. So basically get some additional airflow in there. You don't really need it. I could have saved the money, but it's a box. It's gonna be fine. All in all, this build is right under $800. I think I was about $6 under, so there you go. I could have got a better case now that I think about it, but you know what? I can't free flow on Amazon. I can't punish past Matt. He didn't know what he was doing. You can reference back to him if you want to. But hey, let's put this build together. I'm curious to see how this is going to perform versus Jackson's system, because with a 4060 Ti 8 gig versus a 9060 XT 8 gig, and also the twist that I forgot to tell him that we're playing at 1440p, that's going to be fun. Shout out to ASUS for sponsoring this video. Let's build this PC and then we'll dive into some testing with the games that we got selected. All right, so I have Jackson here. He has not seen my build yet. He has not seen it before.
You built a PC?
I built a computer. You want to take a guess on what my build is based on your lack of knowledge of my PC?
So you gave me a hint at one point. You said you were going all new. So I'm going to say like Ryzen 7600, 7600X, and probably 9060 XT.
Okay, $800. He's close. He's close here, but hey, my build may not be a looker, but I'm hoping it's a performer. And that is the hope here with this PC build, because it's
PC's
inside,
just like us.
It's inside a glorious case, the Q300L V2. But again, it's the V2. It has quality of life improvements.
Like a power supply basement.
It doesn't have that. Single front panel header and USB-C, because that's what we want in the $38 case.
Is that all that the V2 did?
Oh, yeah,
instead of that jank freaking,
they moved it up here.
I hated that.
And then I think this is a little bit different. The mesh is a little different.
Oh, it's
a little more
extra perforated?
I don't know, whatever. But we were talking while we were building, and Jonah was like walking me through my process. And sometimes we do these builds, I kind of look back and I'm like, what was I doing there? Because there's some decisions I'm just like, because I spent an extra $8 on fans, $38 on the case, add $8 there, we're almost to $50, and I did have $5 left over. So I probably could have went back and got a normal case.
Could have gotten like an Okinos or something.
I could have.
Does this case come with any fans?
One.
Oh, it comes with one.
Which I did shove up here. So in theory, I have more fans than I normally would in a build, because I mean, I have a bunch of fans, but I mean, it's not going to be a really hot running system anyways.
You didn't put it before the CPU, so you get that extra like 2 degrees.
But I'm going to go with that theory.
Theory.
CPU, 7500F, which is kind of a weird one. I got off Newegg, actually. So normally you get the AliExpress route. I don't even know what they go for on AliExpress route with tariffs and everything, but these are in the US on Newegg for $140, which compared to the 9600X and 7600, saves me a bit of money with the cooler and everything, probably about $40 savings I could put back into the rest of the build. Motherboard is an ASRock B650M Pro RS Wi-Fi. There might have been a cheaper option out there, like one of those gigabyte ones, but I wanted at least a decent board to really take advantage of all the features of AM5. 32 gigs of RAM, the crucial memory, which is 6,000 megahertz CL36.
Nice.
GPU is the star, the 9060 XT 8 gig.
The best deal on the market.
$269 for it. It's an 8 gig card. it's, whatever about all that. It's a really good deal in a card. I'm excited to see what the benchmarks are like, because compared to the used market right now at $269 for this, I couldn't justify going with a previous gen card right now. I mean, 7700 XT was more expensive on the used market, and you would have worse ray tracing performance, albeit better VRAM. In the games like Marvel Rivals, I feel like this card will actually perform better than that.
Definitely
and
will.
also, I was up against an Nvidia GPU over here, which is going to be much better in terms of ray tracing. So I had to get my best ray tracing support here with Marvel Rivals. So
especially, the games that have like the forced ray tracing, and I mean, I literally paid more for my used 4060 Ti. So used market, you need some adjusting.
Definitely. Power supply, same deal as before.
Classic.
Roswell VSB 650. This has kind of been our Secotep somewhat replacement, or just the alternative you can go with, because it has that ATX 3.1. SSD, I accidentally got a Gen 3, but I paid only a little over $30 for it. 512 gig, enough for my games. Wish I could get more storage, but you know what? We went into the performance there, and I already talked about the case and the fans, but a little under $800. Could I have made better decisions with the case? Probably. Could I have gone AM4? Potentially.
You know what I was thinking about too? I wonder if you had done Newegg with the free AMD gift. 9600X, I think, is like $195.
It was that 16 gigs of RAM.
Yeah. But I wonder, though, if you're not paying for 32 gigs of RAM, if that could have maybe gotten you a 9600X. I don't know, maybe the performance would be worse because of the RAM.
That'd be interesting. That is a way you could go. But yeah, there was a lot of paths I could have gone with this. I could have forced used market an older GPU with AM4, which we're not going to be testing at 1440p, by the way, because, hey, we got these budget builds. These builds are good, but they're not that good. So we're going to be testing at 1080p on that display, but we will showcase all the features that monitor has to offer for those who, let's say, upgrade this PC with a, I don't know, like a 5070?
9070 XT?
9070 XT. You got upgrade rooms. And also with some upscaling, you can get pretty close in esports titles. We'll show you guys during the benchmark section. We'll see what it's all about. All right, guys, so I'm a liar. I'm an absolute liar. I was thinking, again, that these PCs wouldn't be ideal for playing games at 1440p, but then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Fortnite should be able to run at 1440p, super high refresh rate, especially with the configs we have. So we're gonna see what that ends up looking like once we load it into game here. I am noticing something. This GPU of mine, it is like, it has to be having like really aggressive fan stop. Okay, it's starting to ramp up now. I hear it turning on. It was at like 10% usage and the GPU was at 70 degrees. And I was like, there has to be some fan stop going here, and now I hear it turning on. It's a pretty aggressive fan stop, which is kind of weird, but whatever. But in this game, I don't think we're gonna really need a ton of GPU horsepower. It's really gonna be a CPU test here. And the settings we're running are as follows: 1440p, unlimited frame rate, performance mode, which is far redistance and low textures. And this mode especially, we should be able to get some pretty high FPS numbers. The Blitz Royale. And I'll say this monitor, schmoove. Looking real smooth. We did a setup a while ago with one of these ASUS Tough monitors, and we were like really impressed with how smooth it was, I remember. This is not our first time experiencing these displays, and I'm getting 300 FPS. A few divs below, but for a PC at this price point, if you are wanting to play 1440p Fortnite, whoa, what just happened there? The only thing we did with the monitor is I did crank the brightness up to 100% because I like burning my retinas. And
he's used to OLED.
It looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm used to OLED burning my retinas, but for an IPS display, this is a real gamer, isn't it? Oh, hello? It's a real gamer, but also some bot-like tendencies, I'll be honest with you. A bubble shield?
Ooh, so he can push up without getting hit? Yeah, I mean, he's real.
Oh, I'm pushing in. Oh, nice try.
Ask me if I care.
The name was Snatching Bots. I'll take that. Ah! I forget how quick this is. This is not the gun I should be using for this. I'm doing like 13 damage. Yeah, I think FPS-wise, again, this isn't going to be super easy to see like side by side what the best PC is, but at times I'm getting 350 FPS all the way down to about 260 to 280. I'd be curious to see what that 12700 can do, because that should be the better CPU. That should be on paper the better CPU. We'll see how it does in a game like Fortnite. And also, again, not really a feature that most gaming monitor companies advertise, but not bad speakers for pre-installed speakers. You know, it's always good to have them. Especially for us, it helps us content creators out.
The two pump.
Can I steal this kill?
There's only 6 people left in the lobby.
I've never felt like such a gamer before. Ooh, toast! Yeah, the best part is for this ASUS Tough line, I mean, you get this option, which you say entry level. This is a pretty good entry level monitor, I'll be honest, at the price that it's at. But also there's a bunch of monitors at this price point as well from ASUS Tough that'll help you save a little bit of money building a awesome setup.
Oh my God, you see how much it chunks to you?
No, I'm stuck. I'm gonna die off this, aren't I?
Dude, that circle chunks.
That is crazy. I think the average FPS, just looking at it pretty roughly, the fact that that's how you play in this mode, this monitor couldn't even save me. Hey, we were getting about 300 FPS on the highs, about 260 on the lows. Let's see what Jackson's PC can do.
All right, I'm landing Anvil Park where Matt landed. We're playing some Blitz again. We're on the same settings, which I don't have time to show you all now. I'll show you when the run's up, because right now I need to freaking focus up.
He needs to lock in. Nice landed. It's looking pretty close.
Yeah, I think so. What was your max, like 300 usually?
It went over 300 a decent amount. So I think it was like around 260 to 300. And it's loading in now. You're getting close to the same.
Can we get a dub like you did? That's the real
Well, I was
test.
one close to the dub, and then that guy.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
The guy scanned me in the circle. So
I
if
feel
you get a
like
dub,
you basically won. He wasn't good.
guys, let us know down below if on these challenges, if we get like wins or place higher, we get extra points.
Skill plus ratio.
Oh,
Goodness. Oh my God. Baby, let me love you down. I'll take that and that.
Let me love you down.
Oh no, I'm leveling up in Blitz. Don't put me in real lobbies, please. Don't you freaking push me, you little tree hugger.
Tree's hiding behind the tree.
Yeah, don't even think about it.
You damn tree huggers in the chat.
I'll kill your whole generation. Oh, I'm about to freak out. I will say though, I think my temps are a little better than yours, weren't they?
Oh yeah.
I don't know about yours. What was your CPU running? Was your CPU a little hotter too?
I think it was running a bit hotter, which is weird because I think TDP wise, yours would be a little bit higher, but you're only pulling like, you're around 60 watts
I'm on
right
the
now.
engineering sample though, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
Which, by the way, everything does pop up in Windows like normal. The only way you'd even know it was an engineering sample was the die saying engineering sample. Is he emoting on me? It's one of the gorillas.
Yo!
The one-tap melee!
Wow!
Okay, let's go to the next game.
Yeah, let's go on to the next game. Seems like we didn't hit over 300 consistent. It was a little bit lower, so we'll give this one to my PC. Let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, we are now in Call of Duty Warzone, which we are playing at 1080p because, as you'll see from the FPS, the specs that we have are probably not going to be great, but hey, we can grow into our monitor, can't we? So we're currently running 1080p on the balanced presets with no upscaling and the 120 FOV. So that's going to be consistent across the board. And we'll see what I get FPS-wise. This will be the interesting one. This is going to be the more GPU-bound test. No forced ray tracing or anything like we will see in Marvel Rivals, but this will be the GPU-bound test. And we will go to, where do you always go?
Control.
Control center, yeah. GPU's maxed out. Clearly, we're not being bottlenecked by our CPU, which is to be expected. But FPS-wise, again, about 140, 60, kind of all over the place. You guys at home would be able to see a little bit better than me, because I am tunnel vision to make sure I don't die.
Oh.
Ooh. Nice try, buddy. It is also important to mention, since we like to keep it a little consistent with that upscaling, you definitely could just run FSR pretty aggressively at 1440p if you wanted to and get close to the same results. Oh! Oh, I almost died there. No! Pretty comfortably, I think 140 to 160 is kind of what I'm looking at on my average. Sometimes they'll hit 200, but I think that's kind of fluky because running around, we're getting somewhere to 130s at times. Oh! Wow. Big port. Cooked. Just for the fun of it, let's just see what FrameGen does just for the fun of it. It's so blurry. It is so blurry, but it's so much smoother. Hey, maybe I'll take it back. Maybe you could run a little 1440p with FSR, a little FrameGen. You could get close. You could get close. Pretty comfortably. Ah! Got it. I would say 130 to 150 average. Let's see what Jackson's PC can do.
All right, it is my turn playing Call of Duty Warzone. I gotta try to get around what Matt was getting on the balanced preset, so we're not doing any upscaling or anything yet. We're at 1080p, 4060 Ti, 12700. See what we can do.
240 FPS, confirmed. Sky test.
We're looking good. Oh my gosh, the sensitivity's insane.
Yo!
I don't even know where I'm at right now. Oh, I'm far. So I'm just glad you only got the 8 gig card. If you had the 16 gig, I feel like it'd be a little cooked.
It definitely would have been the better option for someone who is daily driving a monitor like this.
Yeah, I think my sensitivity is like really high, actually.
Oh, but he's cooking. Oh! Oh!
Holy Jesus.
He got the real gamers.
All right. Yeah, we're lowering this shit, because my God. I'm at 8. I feel like 8's kind of freaking high. What do you think you're doing, boy? Get back in the lobby. Oh, it's him again. No. I guess we're just, what are we thinking, like 130 to 150 for me?
Yeah, and mine was about the same. I think maybe give or take 5 frames. I wrote down, yeah, about 130 to 160. I hit 160 at one point, but it definitely wasn't the average. So I think for the most part, you're looking pretty similar.
Dude, this guy's aim assist is just insane. No, sit down. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I will say it's a closer tie for the graphics cards than I thought. I mean, like I said, if you had the 16 gig, it wouldn't. I think it would be a much larger gap, but I think with these cards, they're pretty similar. Is that a helicopter? Oh, there's a helicopter up there. Your butt is mine, mister!
Give him cakes.
His butt almost wasn't mine. How dare you peek me? Oh my God, they're peeking me.
Oh,
Princess Kitten got me.
The car
I'm
gone.
gonna die. I'm gonna die. This guy's chasing me.
Aww.
I think that might be it.
He didn't get any frame gen, guys. But hey, that's not part of the test anyways. You all have to leave that up to your imagination.
It'd be great.
It would have been great. Imagine McAllister, up the frame rate real quick. But yeah, we'll go ahead and switch over to Marvel Rivals and see what the difference is like. Okay guys, the last thing we're gonna do is run the benchmark tool for Marvel Rivals so we can do a side-by-side comparison between Jackson and I's setups here. I'm going back and forth on this entire video. We're gonna do 1440p with some FSR, so we're gonna give you all some variety here. So we started with 1440p native in Fortnite. We played Call of Duty, which honestly could have ran 1440p with FSR, but now we're actually gonna play 1440p with some FSR, and for Jackson's case, he'll use DLSS, so whatever the equivalent of DLSS is. A little AMD versus Nvidia test here with upscaling. I got balanced, 1440p, medium with some global illumination enabled, kind of what we would normally do to benchmark this, and we're gonna run this benchmark tool just to get a little side-by-side to see what we have, and I'm gonna let it run, and I'm not gonna talk. I'm just gonna sit here. You don't see me. Ooh, ooh,
You're
that's
the 1 FPS
there's our
low.
one. There's our low. Oh no. Emma Frost, run! You're gonna get the venom. Talk about game using a lot of RAM. There we go. 24 gigs. Rivals just loves using RAM. I don't know why. Okay, guys, so we ran that benchmark, and you saw that stutter. Average of 92 FPS for me, that 1% low of 6. That stutter was not great, so that's going to be something we'll have to keep an eye on to see what Jackson's can do. But hey, 92 FPS average, we'll see what Jackson's can do, and then we'll wrap this video up.
All right, so it's my turn now. So DLSS instead of FSR is set to balanced. Hopefully it's pretty much apples to apple, but 1440p medium. We got SSGI on, and we'll go ahead and run benchmark test. And
this will be interesting because I guess it is kind of a test between, we are doing an AMD versus Nvidia challenge, so messing with the upscaling a little bit here with a little 1440p, but you saw that one major stutter I had. We're gonna see if yours is a lot better. The FPS is looking way better right now, actually. Oh wait, no, it's going down, it's going down. Oh no, here we go. At this point I was at like 80 to 90 FPS. Maybe these Nvidia GPUs, even older gen, just might handle the ray tracing, because this is looking smooth, but we'll let it run and see what the average is. Mine was harsh towards the end, so we'll see if we get any lockups. And the final score, wow, that was way better.
Dude, look at my 1% low of 77, let's see, 112 average FPS.
Yeah, I mean, that did way better. I have no idea if mine just had a random blip or just this card can handle ray tracing better and the CPU may be better for this game. I don't know. Either way, that made a big difference. But before we wrap this video up, we'll have our 3D Mark scores ran so we can give you that at the very end for our cent per point. But all in all, some fun gaming on these ASUS monitors, and both of these PCs are performing quite well.
Well, we just did a bunch of back and forth benchmarks, and it's pretty cool to see that both of these builds have some good bang for buck. I mean, obviously, Matt and I have been doing this for a while, so we've gotten some things figured out, we'd like to think. But it seems like at the end of the day, the all new parts build is like ever so slightly better for gaming tasks.
And we came to that conclusion with the benchmarks you guys already saw, and also our 3D Mark Times by score, which was very, very close. First up with Jackson's score, he ended up with a score of 13,632, which is a 5.9 cent per point score. And with my build, I got really, really close at 5.7 cent per point score. So it's looking like the all new parts build is the better price performance using that calculation, and also factoring stuff like a longer supported motherboard and just general upgrade path. The all new parts build's looking pretty solid in terms of all AMD AMD. Now there's a bunch of different ways you could go about this challenge, especially with my all AMD build. As I mentioned, you could go AM4 if you wanted to and go really high end on the GPU on the used market, but I want to hear from you guys. Which way would you build this gaming PC and which way would you build that gaming PC in the comments down below? And be sure to use those links in the description down below to learn more about the Asus TUF Series 5 monitor lineup with over 10 different models to choose from for all kinds of PC gamers, ranging from 23.8-inch displays to 34-inch displays and 144 Hz to 310 Hz. Thanks again to Asus for making this build challenge possible.
We hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Now, both of these builds will actually be for sale at PCBros.tech for a great price, and on top of that, we even have things like these monitors in person.
PCBros.tech, you can buy a gaming PC if you don't want to worry about picking all AMD or Nvidia or Intel or worrying about all those brands. We got you covered with our great customer service and warranties, and I'm falling apart because, yeah, we've been filming for a bit. Use good Toasty Bros on checkout. You will save 3% of your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.